He wants to work with you. So that is fabulous. So I'll put the email, the website in there where you can request. Okay,
yes,
but
I'll drop it in the chat too.
Thank you, my love. I'll let you.
I would love to do this in person as well. I know we're doing it virtual. There was a couple movie theaters that offered us space, but with COVID, we're like, we're just gonna do it virtual. So we appreciate you, Kimonti, for sharing your story. I met you a couple years back. I actually used to do a lot of work with the Village of Hope and Mary Flowers. This is Ashley McGirt speaking. Okay. So I'm the founder and president of the Washington Therapy Fund, and we are dedicated towards Black healing, providing free therapy to our community. And so with that said, we have a couple questions for you, Kimonti. And, since we're all about mental health and well-being, in the documentary you stated, prisons are designed to make you antisocial, which is antithetical to how we were created because we are social beings. And research shows that the carceral environment can be inherently damaging to mental health by removing people from society. So we really want to know, how have you managed your mental health while incarcerated and finding ways to still be social?
Right. That's a great question. And I think, with me just being, coming to prison, what I'm saying, as a youngster myself, right, already still, full of life, full of energy, always really trying to stay in the mix, if you will. The finding spaces in, whether it's in the day room playing cards, associating in the yard or the basketball court or the weight room was always something that just helped to always keep, a lot of my relationships and my sensations just, always remaining active. And, when it really came to, being able to be vulnerable, right? Because I think that in many of these social spaces, whether it's the day room, the gym, or the big yard, right, many people kind of wear this mask, right, and they kind of put on this, or they give off the impression or this character of who they think they want you to see. But as I started to get involved in the Black Prisoners Caucus, right, like it was one of those spaces to where like we were literally the circle of life was probably therapeutic for everybody because it was an opportunity for guys to really try to be their authentic self and to also call people out on their BS when they seen it, right? Because we wanted people to be able to speak truth to the circle, right? Don't rob us of the opportunity of being able to receive our blessings by, giving us the fake version of you, because that's not what you're getting in return. And so I think for a lot of brothers that was really, coming to the BPC meetings, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, that really helped us to be able to kind of maintain a stronger connection to self, to be vulnerable to, building relationships with other men who are also doing time in prison. And, our interactions with organizations like the Village and the Urban League and professors from Evergreen and Seattle Central and University of Washington, I think that really helped our engagement. And I think that I've benefited in many ways from that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a beautiful testimony. We appreciate it. I want to open it up to the audience as well. Any questions that you all have, anything you want to say while we have Kimonti on the line, definitely feel free to unmute yourselves, turn your camera on, type it in the chat box.
Where you live?
Seeing a lot of hearts popping up.
Oh, Kimonti, there's so much praise, and they want to show that.
If I had a computer right now, I'd be sending some hearts too.
Yeah. Let's see. And folks
so asking, how do you think we can work toward ending the criminalization of Black boys and girls?
Another good question. You know, I think that I think, you know, the issue with, you know, really ending, you know, the criminalization of Black and brown lives is really really kind of intertwined in institutional racism and white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I just believe that as long as institutional racism exists, you know, scapegoats are always going to be used as a way of the system and the institutions, and, you know, folks in power who are dealing with their own insecurities can, you know, really hide, you know, and deflect some of their own issues. And that's kind of sad to say, you know, because, you know, as much as we need to, you know, strengthen, you know, Black and brown leadership in a lot of our, you know, representatives and senators and police chiefs and prosecutors and judges spaces, right? I think it's, you know, many of those spots are dominated by, you know, by white folks, you know, and I think that as long as the representation is disproportionate, then people are always going to bring in, you know, their stereotypical and their cultural lens to those positions. And so, you know, we're going to have to do, you know, a better job of being able to educate our young, you know what I'm saying, our young life about, you know what I'm saying, the how they interact with institutions. And we're also, and I think that another thing is really important, especially for the Black community, is that we have to begin to start, you know, building, you know, our own institutions. That way we're limiting the access of our young children to, you know, being exposed to discrimination and institutional racism and different types of things of that nature. And so, like you said, like the organization and the group that you guys have founded, I think, is a wonderful way of being able to give people an opportunity of receiving therapy, of being able to receive some, have an opportunity to address, you know, some of the mental health or that they may be dealing with, and not having to really sit amongst people who don't look like them. You know, because, you know, I think that once you see yourself in the doctor, the teacher, the policeman, the judge, you know, I think the likelihood of us receiving, you know what I'm saying, you know, discipline for making bad decisions will get us away from being able to be punished for those same decisions. And so, you know, I think, you know, eliminating white supremacy and institutional racism is definitely key. You know, but also kind of changing the landscape of our representation, I think, is the way that we can do it inside the society in which we live.
Awesome. Quite a few questions are coming in through the chat box. So, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Lou Rochelle says, what is the likelihood at this point that the governor will grant clemency to you and others who have changed your lives despite having been given a life sentence? And what can we do to assist in that process?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. But, you know, fortunately, you know, the Washington State Supreme Court has, you know, kind of already delivered me my blessing, you know, with, you know, a decision in my favor, which, you know, ultimately made the life sentence that I've been, you know, convicted on unconstitutional, because the trial court did not, or the trial court and the judge did not take my age into consideration at the time of my offense. And so I've been granted, you know, a resentencing hearing from next month, March 25th. You know, I got a wonderful lawyer, I got a wonderful legal team, and, you know what I'm saying, they're literally, you know what I'm saying, doing everything that they can to, you know, ask, make the request of being able to ask the state and the judge, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, resentence me to 25 years would ultimately, you know, release me with time served. And so, you know, how you guys can support in that, you know what I'm saying, I would, if you guys would be willing to write letters, you know what I'm saying, that would be wonderful on my behalf. You know, there's a lot of information that's already online. I know Dr. Sheppard would be able to forward any necessary information that you guys would need in order to write letters. And I'm also asking the community to, you know what I'm saying, to you know, to be present at my resentencing hearing, just so, you know, we can, you know, show the community, the court that this is the will of the community, and the community is here to embrace me back into its fold. So I've definitely been blessed with an opportunity next month. So March 25th.
Yeah, and if you go to the website, okay, www.sinceI'veBeenDown.com and click on events, then you will see even a sample of a letter that you can write and so many other things. What I can do is, so please,
I put it in the chat for you.
Okay.
Gilda, and I will also make sure that I send it to everyone who registered for this event.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Definitely. You're getting a lot of praise here. A lot of people saying, they're so amazed and sorry, I just went from the chat. Honored to witness your story, Kimonti from Wayne Levine. So glad to hear your voice, joyful and giving to so many people from Nasari. Juanita Bird asked, do you feel that the staff are allies in making a change? And if so, how?
Am I still what? Can you answer that? Ask me that question.
Do you feel that the staff in the prison are allies in making a change?
I think it varies, right? And I think it varies just amongst, staff and also institutions, right? Because I think that there's still a large resistance to prisoner-led programs, right? Because many of the people who are in positions of power, they think us being able to run our own programs is them relinquishing some of the power that they have over us. So in some instances, I think that there's a lot of resistance. But fortunately, I think our track record, I think that the support, the interest, the consistency, that Teach has been able to continue to create and maintain, not just in Column Bay where it was created, but also now in many other institutions. And the demand for Teach is growing so extraordinary to where it's hard for them to be able to argue against the results, right? To where now, no incidents in our classrooms, right? The cultural barriers and a lot of the racism that kind of exists inside prison is ultimately beginning to erode away, because we're able to really understand it that we are all under the same foot here. Right, we're all in the same position. Many of us come from under-resourced communities, and the system is the reason why many of us have been robbed of our opportunity at being able to become that contributor of society that we've always wanted to become, right? That leader of our family. And so, the results have been astonishing, right? I think that is the reason why we do have the support from Olympia and the DOC. And I think that with the support and also the commitment from the prisoners on the inside is the thing that ultimately drives our success. Right. And so, I can definitely say is that most of the support from the staff has also contributed to most of our success as well.
Right. But, I just want to say that when people see the film, that now there have been, which is very interesting, 700 people signed up across faith. This one Rabbi Jay, contacted some Christian pastors from First AME Church and other churches in Washington State. And so it's the Jewish community, the Christian community, particularly focusing on Black folks, the Muslim community, and the Baha'i community have come together on a lobby day and are writing letters on Kimonti's behalf. I just put his attorney's email and the chat and the exact place where you can go look up on the website for the for the letters and all, the template and everything. But we were even invited to Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Martin Luther King's church. Yes. There we were in the big sanctuary. His last name is Carter, Kimonti Carter. And if you go to that website, you can see it is Kimonti, K-A-M-O-N-T.
K-I-M.
I'll send this to everybody and I'll also put it in the chat. And
Okay.
we got some more messages going on. And if at any time anyone wants to come on as well and speak.
Right.
Jaquel, she wrote, "Thank you, Kimonti, for sharing your story. I have heard nothing but good things about you. My significant other was locked up with you at Monroe, and he said you're a wonderful man, very intelligent, and if anyone deserves to get out, it's you. Keep your head up, brother. I'm willing to do anything to help you."
Oh,
That's what's up.
yeah.
And was that a 60-second warning?
Yeah. He
Okay,
can call
anybody
back.
else? We got 60 seconds.
Yeah, right. Or he can call right back. But
Okay.
I don't know how long you're gonna be on.
Yeah, we had to sign, agreed to be on till 8. But if there's more questions, definitely feel free to, unmute your mic or type it in the chat box.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
All right, I'm about to call you right back.
Okay.
He's gonna call right back.
Call us right back.
So
So someone asked, can we help other people? Yes. What I have done is take different men and women, because I work at the women's prison too. All right. And I just edit those people out, put it in a little device, send it to their family, and the family gives it to the judge or the attorney, and that helps. What you can do is if you contact me, I can give you the name of an organization called Family Shoulder to Shoulder, and they are doing campaigns and writing letters. This film was not just about Kimonti Carter. He happens to be the Mississippi River, and the tributaries is the mass incarceration, and particularly Black people, but I say across race lines.
Thank you.
Just my example is Kimonti Carter. He did it. If he can do it in the worst place possible, then we should be able to do that too. Yes, I have a priority with the BIPOC community. However, I understand what they do to children under our roof and those who are not under our roof. And Kimonti understands that too. I learned that from him.
Yes.
I'm not a nationalist. No, I'm not. Anyway.
All right,
So.
Kimonti's back. So anyone else want to hop on, say anything, ask a question? I'm going back through the chat.
Is the hearing information on the Since I've Been Down website?
Yeah, that one I just gave you, you can go straight to it. It is the Since I've Been Down website, but I just put in the chat also the particular place on the website where you can go. I'll put it in again. Okay, I'll put it in again so that you all can go to that one.
The Seattle School of Theology and Psychology is also interested in hosting a screening as well. So I'm gonna make sure I touch bases with them and get all the information so we can do this. Rainier Beach High School.
Yeah, Rainier Beach High School. Kimonti is like, whoa. So
Yeah.
if even when you go to sinceI'veBeenDown.com, there's a place where you can request a screening. And let's be clear, there's never a time that we say, oh no.
Yeah.
So you can go to, there's a place to request a screening, okay? Please, we need to get the word out about what's going on, but also what we can do, right?
Zin says, thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Gilda, for your 12 years of work in creating this video, and Washington Therapy Fund for sharing and holding space and time to educate us. And of course, Kimonti for enlightening us. You will be in my prayers. This was really beautiful to see the manifestation of your work, especially having seen part of it over 10 years ago at PLU when I was just diving into this work and completing my degrees. So I'm really happy to have you here, Kimonti. Like I said, I've been blessed to be in this space with you. But I'm gonna send some letters, do all the work, send it, blast it out to the community. And let us know what else we can do to support yourself, the Black Prisoners Caucus, the rest of the individuals, Gilda, you as well,
Yeah, thank you so much. Please go to our
Absolutely.
Website, and if you want to screen the film other places. I hardly ever speak without Kimonti and or Tanya Wilson with me, is, you know, because they have the story. It's like what Kimonti said. It's one thing studying the subject. It's another thing being the subject. And so I'm reminded of that every day, my positionality and how I can use my privilege to open a curtain that's already set. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you. I know it's been a long night here for everyone here. But I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. If no one else has anything else to say, we are gonna do a quick raffle at the end, but I want to make sure we say a proper farewell to Kimonti and let anyone else have that opportunity to say anything if they'd like.
I had a question about the police officers who are featured in the film. Have they tried to make any kind of restitution or talk about their role in rounding up kids just indiscriminately? I guess that's a question for Gilda.
No.
Okay.
However, no, they have not. However, and you know, what I wanted to do, I had heard so much about these police officers in Hilltop, how they would do what they said. I mean, listen to them. We could do whatever we wanted to, you know, we were not supervised. I wanted people to look at them not as two people, but I hear you, please, I understand. But look at this as policing, right? I mean, what do we give police? They had no supervision. They could do whatever they want, right? And then when it comes to what is justice, I told them I was going to ask that question. I told them before they came, right? And then I told them when they were there, and they still said never thought about it. Quite frankly, I said that's being honest. I think that this is an example of policing, and that's why I'm a prison abolitionist, and I want to abolish police. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying like take them all out and, you know, take their guns and let them go. You know, they can't be police officers. We need a different kind of serving and protecting, right? So they were able to reflect on, they never even thought about justice. But I wanted the audience, wanted the viewers to see that that's not just these two police officers. That's the culture of punishment that we allow police officers to be in. Kimonti is representative. You know, I thought he was unique. He's not unique. There's so many people behind bars. Yes, Kimonti is unique in his own way. You know, he's like my son. So he's unique in his own way. So don't get a mama talking about their son. However, what they do with our institutions, even people who look like us, do to children. I mean, Kimonti dropped out of school and he's brilliant. What are we doing as teachers? You know, this one legal scholar says, on any given day, how we punish says more about us than who we punish. I want people to look at themselves, not only look out. I mean, I used to define justice only towards crime, just like those guys would say in the classroom. And then Marco, that Kimonti recruited for this, says, this is, you're talking about the justice system. I'm talking about justice. This classroom is justice. Go teach in the prison. You know, you will learn so much about yourself, not just about pointing a finger at somebody. And please, I beg you, I'm not saying you're doing that, but that is one of the things that we really wanted to do in this film. That's the reason why Kimonti could go across to someone with swastikas on them. I went to visit his grandmother. His grandmother said, "Oh, you're Black. Oh, wow." She was shocked, right? And this guy, I don't know, I'm not saying he wouldn't vote for Trump or anything. I asked Kimonti, I said, is he still with the white nationalist group? And Kimonti said, yeah. Since he got the conscience, what you want me to do? Say, no, you can't be part of teach. That's my example. He doesn't cancel culture. He doesn't call out, he has us call in. And I've learned so much, Lou Rochelle, about the triumph of the human spirit and the humanity in all of us. But I also learned a lot about the impact of white supremacist capitalist patriarchy on our children and on all of us. And as Mary Flowers says, the victims are perpetrators and the perpetrators are victims.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you for that question.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Anyone else before? I don't think I see anything else in the chat box. We appreciate you, Kimonti.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this again. I appreciate you, Gilda. I love all the
oh,
work
I
that you are
love-
doing.
Wait a minute.
I
We
have
all
loved
need
your
to thank
work.
her. You are doing this the same similar work out here. This is the belly of the beast.
Yes, it is.
And you are doing that, creating a healing space, creating a process, organizing all of this. And you look like you're 12 years old, right? And you talk like you're an elder, right? You have the wisdom of the elder and the freshness of a young, brilliant mind. Everybody, we need to unmute ourselves and say, yeah, yeah to her. Come on, let's thank, this is standing
Yeah.
yes, saving lives, honey. You are saving lives.
Thank you.
Don't
They
get
just
me
wanted us
started.
to cheer.
Pardon? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, y'all. Before we close out, have a good night, Gilda and Kimonti. I'm gonna do a drawing. There's a couple books on transformative justice that we're gonna be giving out. So let me see. Everyone who's here tonight's name has been listed in the drawing. So I'm gonna do the raffle spin really quick. Hopefully, everybody, my screen should be shared. Can y'all see it?
Ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and spin.
Come on.
All right, David. If you registered, we should have your email address, but if you're on, definitely drop your email address. And we're gonna send you a copy of Beyond Survival: Strategies and Stories from the Transformative Justice Movement.
Thank you all.
Ashley, there was 2 Davids. Which
It had a
David?
last name. They just said thank you.
Oh, okay, okay.
David B. It went away. I recorded this part, so we'll find it. And do a couple more. All right, Mara Kizuto. And last, for a copy of Transformative Justice and a $25 Amazon gift card. Dr. Shalon, and she's not on. She was on earlier. Okay, Dr. Shalon. All right, thank you all. Have a good night. It's been amazing.
Thank
Everyone will contact you all if you want a copy of the book, and we'll send you an email, get it to you sent from Amazon. March 25th, mark your calendars. Everyone, let's write these letters for Kimonti. Let's continue to do this work and heal our communities. All right, have a good night.
Everyone have a blessed weekend.
Thank you, thank you.